Hi. So today is Monday, it's the last day of June, and I'm thinking of doing a week in my journals video for this week. Each time I reach for my books, I will record the section, so there may be days where it's just music or voiceover now that I know how to do that. It will literally just be a compilation of my week journaling in whatever kind of format is just easiest for me to do in terms of editing and compiling the video. The ultimate goal for July is just to be more consistent with my A6. I do hate this book because of the paper and its inconsistency, but I feel like currently it's such a waste of money and also the highs and lows of my year if I just continue to dip in and out of it when I want to without some form of consistency, which is what I've been doing throughout the year thus far. Also, in the same idea of others who have the AVEC system, which is essentially a two book system where half the year is in one book and the other half is in a second new book. I feel like I'm just going to convince myself to do the same and see the next 6 months as a new book, even though it's literally part of the exact same book. Um, I don't know, in my brain it makes sense and I'm just gonna go with it. So I was supposed to fill out pages in my traveler's notebook, but I've just realized that I didn't actually print out the pictures that I needed. So this is a bit pointless. I will have to move that into the next session when I record tomorrow though, so you'll see it. Also got some new books, which is exciting. Not that I needed them, especially when I haven't finished the last set of books that I bought. I mean, I had to get them. I also have to set up my July monthly intentions in my Trappist notebook as well as wrap up June, but I guess I'll just do all of that tomorrow. And I also don't really have a clear idea of what I want to do as yet, so it will give me something to think about in the meantime. This is basically real time poor planning being witnessed now, folks. I don't have much faith in myself for the rest of the week if this is how I'm starting. So, wish me luck, and I guess let's begin.
I'm just popping in to explain what I'm doing in the next few clips. You would have already seen me replace the season 3 poster for Ginny and Georgia, which I mentioned I would do in the last video. Onto this page, I've already written my thoughts on the show The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I did enjoy season 1, I'm on season 2 now, so I gathered a few still images from the season and I'm just collaging them onto the right side of the page, which you'll see me rearrange until I'm happy with how they look. Overall, I do like how the page turned out, but I feel like the pictures that I chose kind of ended up blending into each other in terms of their hues, maybe because they are from the same color family, so now that I look at it, it's kind of bothering me a little. But I do think I have a good selection of the events of season 1 depicted here. I hope they are all from season 1 at the time of doing this. I'm already on season 2, so I could have accidentally mixed up images between the two seasons. The father, Abe, he is my favorite. I really like him, so I do have a larger picture of him on the page. I just think he's so funny. And the idea for this page was to do a tip in of the images. That way I have the photos and they are still accompanying the text. And yeah, I think it turned out okay. I'm just going to use a bit of washi tape so that I can tip it in. You could just use like your normal tape and just not stick in the entire image, but I don't like that all the time just because when you're turning over the tip in, I prefer just being able to flip it over completely as if it were an independent page as opposed to sticking in half an image. I don't know, it just doesn't feel nice trying to flip over half an image that's half stuck in and half not. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it doesn't. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. and I think it looks cool. I left the margins blank on the side just because I don't know what to write in them, and I did get additional glue stuck on the back of the collage, so I'm just covering that up with washi tape. And I think I'm moving on to my A6 now, so I will most likely insert some music so you can listen to it, but essentially I'm just filling in the dailies. I didn't like the bulkiness of the book. I thought it was from the cover, so I just removed a few of my little ephemera bits that I had in the cover, and then I start writing. I still notice that the surface is really uneven to the point where it's just uncomfortable to write. So I will end up taking the book out of the cover, which turned out to be far greater of a mission than I had expected. And then once I put the book back into the cover, I decide I don't like how thick and chunky it's becoming.
Okay, after doing a bit of journaling yesterday, I didn't like how uneven the surface was when I was writing in my Hobonichi, so I took everything out of the cover and I've gone back to a more simple structure. So my books are just going to be in my TS Techo. All I really have in this bag is just my Hobonichi, my Traveler's Notebook DIY insert, and my pen, which I am going to refill. And then I also have the gel pen, which I use for my TN. But yeah, that's basically the setup that we're going with, only because it's just easier to bend the book and make it lay flat when I'm writing in it, just because the first half of the year is really thick and irritating. So, oh, and I do just have on the clear plastic cover. It's not Midori brand, it's just a cheap one that I found online and I bought. So yeah, this is where we left off yesterday. That's not sticking down for some reason. Yeah, I'm just gonna fill in the bottom I just did a bit of reading and yeah, nothing much. And then I'll fill in the daily for today. I did get smudged ink because I didn't wait for it to dry and I turned over the page. So yeah, I'll just cover that up. Yeah, I think that's it for this book. And then in my A6, no, and then in my traveler's notebook, I did finish off the entry for June, like the recap, and I started to set up July and August. So I'm just going to stick these bits in as well, but my tape runner is my glue tape finished, so I'm just gonna fill that up too. And then yeah, I guess I'll do some journaling. I've been reading the Richard Osman book. I have about 150 pages left to finish. I'm not enjoying it at this point. I'm just finishing it just to finish it because it's Richard Osman, but I'm absolutely not enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying it like from 50 pages in, so a bit disappointing. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that today, and then I'll probably write my thoughts about that on this page for tomorrow. Okay, so hopefully I don't make a mess of things, so I'm just going to put all of this away because I don't trust myself. And I have okay, this is just the Kaweco caramel brown ink. It's the only ink that I use, and yeah, I don't like the ink, but because they reformulated it, so that sucks. But yeah, oh my god. Okay, and all I'm going to do is expel the remainder of this ink. It's not a lot back into the bottle and then refill it. It's simply just twisting and then twisting the other way. So pretty much it for this portion, for today's portion of the video. Not very interesting, but this is basically what it's like every day. Just writing your book, and not every single day is going to be fun. I did do this off camera yesterday just because I thought I would write in it, but I didn't end up doing that. I just stuck in a thumbnail picture from last week. Yeah, I think this was last week's video. I did a super thanks on YouTube, and I got these little guys pop up on my screen. So I just took a screenshot and then cut them out, and I thought it looked cute there. And then I don't really do things with this much color, so I just decided to set up August, even though I'm not going to really use it. Yeah, there's just a lot of color going on, and I think the both months together would look fine on this page. Yeah, not much else going on in here. I will do my book review when I'm done with the book. So that, yeah, I think I've already said that. Most likely will be tomorrow. And then in my Hobonichi, this paper seems to be good. I don't know what tomorrow will be like. It also looks like it's good paper. So I wonder if just half the book was crap. Yeah, this is also good paper. Oh no, this is bad paper, I think. Yes. But it seems like both sides are good. I don't know. Hopefully it is good. I mean, I'm not wishing that it's bad. It does seem like a lot of these are good, like the good paper. So that's starting to make me somewhat excited for this book now. Oh yeah, I'm not sure what happened. We'll see. We'll see. I do prefer the slimmer profile. Just ignore how gross this cover is. I will get another one, a new one, and then put this back on my old book because now my old book is sitting on the bookshelf naked. So yeah, just ignore that for now. I do like that it's thin. I like that I can bend it open and fold it in on itself just to like write if I need to. And taking the plastic cover off is fairly easy. Taking it off and putting it back on if I need to have a completely flat surface. So that's been nice. I've also been filling out my monthly section, which basically it's essentially a highlight of each day, and then the top section is just a daily event. So always mark payday, and any birthdays or appointments will go on the top bar next to the actual date. And then at the bottom, I tend to do books and movies that I have already watched, as opposed to my travel notebook where I write down things that I would like to get to, but there's no obligation to complete it. These are things that I have actually done because this is more of logging as opposed to forward planning. Well, actually planning. And then on the left, yes, this is the left column, I will write down any quotes that I like that I've come across. And I do have one that I was supposed to write, but I don't have it with me here. I don't know if I printed it out, but yeah, I will fill that in and then show you how it looks. This doesn't ever get decorated. I prefer it to just be black and white, so it will look better at the end once all the days are filled out. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I guess that's it. Nothing much. See you tomorrow. It's Friday today. I did delete the footage for Thursday, so no, you're not missing anything. I just felt like it was too repetitive and I kind of got bored of all the journaling clips. It's been a quiet work week for me, so I did have a fair bit of downtime and I managed to finish my book. I even started a new knitting project, so that's been fun so far. Yesterday, I did do some work. I had meetings to attend, and then I also worked on my knitting. I watched Monsters University just as like background noise, and it made me miss when Disney actually made good movies. This morning, it's a pretty cold and gloomy day, so I'm thriving. I've just been knitting. I've also been listening to Cliche by MGK, so I inserted the cover art for the album here, and I just have a bunch of stickers. I have a stamp which I think it's an Italy stamp that's on here, and this page kind of just felt like I wanted to match the blue monochrome overall feel of the page. And yeah, I just stuck on other little pictures that I have from Tumblr and then some of my stickers. That's pretty much it. I am enjoying my book as it is and in this format. It feels it feels really nice to like hold and carry around, being so light. The paper, I did say that this was good paper, but I was actually wrong. It's very much the same way it alternates between good and then bad. So this is bad. There is a lot of splotchiness on the side. That could have just been because of me. I did try to work out the placement of where I wanted my decorations, so I will take responsibility for this. I may have just touched the page, but I still don't get, like, it's still so wild that touching the paper then makes it not usable. It's like I just cannot comprehend that. It's wild. So while I am so far for this first week of July enjoying writing in this book again, well, not again, writing the book full stop, I haven't enjoyed writing this book ever. I still am thinking, well, considering changing to another brand for next year. I think the Kinball A6 is a dupe for this layout. I don't really know how to get my hands on it though, or how to get one shipped to me. So that's something that I need to just have another think through and just research. But yeah, I don't know if I want to continue with this book for next year. I don't think there's anything else. I haven't done anything for tomorrow. I did write edit on here just because I wanted to check whether this was good paper, but I then realized no, that it was actually here. I won't complain about the paper anymore. So let's move on. So onto my traveler's notebook. I just completed writing in my review for We Solve Murders, which was the Richard Osman book that I started. I did write in Richard Osman, I want my money back, thanks, because honestly, I feel robbed. This book was painful to get through. I only finished it because it was Richard Osman. I mean, heck, that's the only reason I bought it, was because it's him and he's like so brilliant. But this book just was not it. It made me excited to get back to the Thursday Murder Club. I still have book 4, which is unread, and book 5 is coming out in September, I believe. So, yeah, I guess I'll be sticking to that series by him and nothing else. I noticed I was falling into some bad cursive writing habits while I was writing this, and I think some other pages, yeah, like here as well. And I decided I'll do a little bit more writing practice. Writing practice is just like me writing out text just to practice. Like that's literally it. I'm not happy with certain letters like the letter R, J, and L and how they look when I write them out. So I'm just going to write out text. It's usually Harry Potter since I'm already familiar with that text, and I essentially will just write out a paragraph. Kind of at the end of a paragraph, I will just circle any words that I have written, but I am not happy with how they look. Then I will just rewrite those individual words a few times just to build muscle memory and work on them until I'm happy with how it looks. And that was additional footage that I did end up deleted. But I wanted to mention, just in case you also want to practice writing and I don't know, wanted some tips, that's basically what I do and how I try to better my cursive writing. Okay, in other news, I'm getting my new Tamagotchi next week or maybe the week after, so I'm excited for that. I am thinking of doing a tutorial on collage journaling and alternatives if you don't have a big stationery or sticker collection. or even if you want to implement collaging in your book and you don't know how to, and you already don't have a large supply, it can kind of feel daunting and you don't know where to start. So I was thinking about that. Otherwise, not much really going on, and I think that's all that I have to share for the video. It was a pretty boring week, honestly, but like I said, that's just how things are, and that's just how it is when you are journaling. It's not always fun and exciting every single day, and sometimes, like, not a lot happens. And similar to this week, nothing happened. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you decide to use your books, even if, like me, you were not consistent in the first half of the year, that you can still turn things around and try for the next half. Just like the girlies who have the effect system, it's also planner season that's coming up around the corner, so there's a lot to consider in the next few months and into the new year. So I figured now it would be a good time to delve into the hobby a little bit more and just gather my thoughts before the madness of September is upon us. Anyway, take care and thanks for watching. Bye.